Hey everybody, I am WoopVonWoop. I am about to play Squashed, which is a prototype of Ninja Jajamaru Ginga Daisakusen. It was a game that Jalico made. They had a mascot called Jajamaru, and they tried, we were going to bring this to the US, but then didn't, because this game came out 3 years after Super Mario Bros. 3, so it looks definitely not of that quality. This came out the same year as Sonic. So the story is basically they rewrote the story for the English version where Maru and Corey begin to dream because they forgot they were sent to bed for not eating their veggies, and then an unidentified flying onion comes on, and then King Kale appears and he begs you to please save the planet of the grapes. The puns in this localization are incredibly bad, and they're very food-based. But luckily, luckily they're more towards the end. Maru and Corey are the same names used if you play Maru's Mission on the Game Boy. Again, Jalico has made several attempts to try to bring Jajamaru over, but nothing was really like, at least on the NES, nothing was actually published. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. So what I'm doing here is, oh, darn. So what I'm doing here is, there's a couple notes I got from the task. Like, I'm the only person that runs this, and I actually like read the task notes and come up with some new strats and some other things like that. But what happens is, if you're in the air and you're moving and you hold down the B button, you don't lose momentum. Oh, this is a neat feature in the prototype that's not in the original game, and that is a pause screen. Yes, the original game that was published, if you hold down the start button, it pauses the game, but you have to keep holding down the start button. Because Jalico makes wonderful games. And so you have to use the combination of holding B down to keep your momentum, as well as tapping A the moment you hit the ground, so you can keep the same momentum as you're flying over. Oh. Oh. So it's a lot of precision jumps, which are a little bit more difficult in Squashed because they actually fixed a couple bugs. The things that they didn't fix, they added more cutscenes, and they made, you're not able to skip a lot of the cutscenes and other things. But one of the things they fixed is they made the game run like a couple frames faster than it normally does. So I may make a couple mistakes here and there just because of the fact that it's kind of like the difference between playing on an emulator versus a real console. Like, if you get really used to an emulator and then you play on the real console, you're going to be a little thrown off. And that's kind of what it's like playing this. Because the original has a little bit of a slowdown and lag here and there. And Jalico's tried to do a lot of stuff with Jajamaru. Maru's Mission and Ninja Taro on the Game Boy were the first two Jajamaru games that actually came over to the US. Oh, they were rebranded though. It really wasn't until the Wii Virtual Console that the actual Jajamaru game came out on sale in the West. But they still made them. They made there's like one for the Saturn and PlayStation. Made one on the 3DS, like right before Jalico went under. So it was a pretty prolific series.
At least you have to read the text, so we'll see the puns.
Oh, oh yeah, we'll get there. There's not actually like, the thing is the puns are sort of in the middle and the end. It's like an Oreo.
I like that metaphor.
Whoa. Oh, I missed that jump. Normally you can jump off that container, and man. Again, my jumping is going to be a little bit off because they fixed some of the lag in this game. So I'm jumping at the right time I know to jump, but the game's moving faster than that. And to keep Jajamaru at the speed, I'm basically kind of like using a combination of A and B, or holding A and holding B and tapping A, and such. I always liken it to driving like a stick shift, but everyone looks at me weird whenever I say that.
Hey, can I read the donation?
Yeah, go for it.
There's a $15 donation from Krugman.
Oh.
He says, "Go Whoop, good luck. P.S. Save the animals." Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face.
Thank you. I was just watching the stream yesterday. Really good stuff. So yeah, this is the, I think Epic Neon Ninja Monkey called this the aggro crag. Because this is the area that throws off a lot of players. I mean, again, like, I'm not the only person who's beaten this game, but I'm definitely the only person who runs it. This part throws people off because whenever you're climbing, in order to do that little jump, you have to press the opposite direction as you're moving up, like as the sprite animation is moving upwards. So a lot of people try, like, maybe just like left and B, or just like when they're hanging on the left and just kind of sliding down a little bit. And so it took me like probably like a couple days because I was just so perplexed about like how to even climb before I figured that out. So as you can see, this is very much Super Mario 3 inspired. So you've got the same text font, and it has this whole like rescue king at the end of every planet. All right, so let's don't stand still or you'll get a hot foot. There's also a new thing. The time bonus is actually new, which also, like, that cannot being able to skip the cutscenes, like, they definitely inflated the time by a little bit. So this is a Hot Pepper Planet. This is a dangerous stage. This took me a while to get down well. If you charge up anywhere other than the corners, you'll heat up, and you won't be able to, like, you'll be too burnt to, you have to take a break. So this is the rocket jump. You're just holding down, you charge, run into a jetpack, hold down B, and just tap A, and he just launches you across the stage. This game is incredibly trolly. There aren't too much differences level layout-wise between this and the original. There's a maze coming up ahead where there's these little tiny like creatures, pink puffball creatures that they added different patterns to make them a little more difficult. So you can't just do, you can't just go like crazy go nuts. And you might think, oh, why didn't you just climb up that wall and jump off the wall into the platform? No, they put an invisible wall, a ceiling on there. So you can't do that. There's some parts of this game where I think they realized that you could do cool stunts and decided to put in fake walls to prevent you from doing them. Oh. All right, let's go. Oh. Ah. Wow, that's embarrassing. But also, this area is really hard to do super fast because you have this really tight area, and it isn't until you get to here that the screen actually scrolls up so you can see where you're going. Alright, now on to Marvin. I don't know if that's his name, but that's just what I call him. We've got to basically destroy his fuel sources as it makes him sadder and sadder. So a note about bosses, even though I'm wearing this little spacesuit here, which allows me to take a hit, but there's barely any iframes. So if you touch a boss, it doesn't matter if you have a suit or not, you're basically dying. Let's see, in our next mission. Don't get lost in the black hole. Okay, so I will explain what the black hole is when we get there. Because now we have to go through an amazing auto-scroller, probably the best auto-scroller you've ever seen in your life. Oh nice, my time is 3:69. So now on to Star Spangled Squash. Which they left the A out of Spangled for some reason. So it starts off kind of fun. You can this red one, there's just two orange ones. And this red one, and these two orange ones, and yeah, it's just these three stones over and over until we get to the end of the area. There's a lot of parts of this game that really feel unfinished, and I feel like some of the invisible walls that they've placed in this game are probably just because they found something really terrible and breaking, and that was the better solution. And we're gonna say goodbye to this, possibly say goodbye to the suit anyways. I'm gonna attempt to, oh, that's the black hole, it's just a pit. That's it, it's just a pit, you fall and you die. So we have to start moving left so we don't hit that power up. And if you're wondering what the little demon face in the corner does, there's power-ups you can get that are just letters. And if you collect 3 letters of a certain type, when you fight the boss, a demon will show up and he throws like bubbles or some things at you, which like doesn't help you at all, so I'm not really sure of the purpose of them, because it doesn't do anything that helps. It just makes the boss more of a pain. Yeah, there's gonna be a couple missed jumps, as like I said, it's running at like a couple frames faster than the original. Here's the maze. That's a super tight spot to get into. Like, it's almost hard to do this super fast just because they put a lot of stuff in the way. But whenever you enter a portal, you exit the portal at the same velocity. So we'll be seeing a neat... Yeah, see, normally I would just you jump up and use the vertical motion coming out of the tube to jump up there, but they changed the pattern of these little pink dudes, so that way you'll run right into them if you try to do that. Okay, so here's an example of good example of the velocity going. Hopefully I'll make this. There we go. So yeah, I can hold B to, you can hold B to charge. You only need a little bit just to make a dash, but if you hold in long enough, that's where you start doing the. Another issue with the game being slightly faster is that there's certain inputs that like I would have preloaded, like I come appear on the screen and I would have like left or right being held down, and some of that doesn't transfer so well when it's a little faster. So there may be certain times in which I wind up breaking out of the ball form. See, look at this well-designed maze. We're just gonna go through each one of these. Thanks, Jalico. I'm kidding, I love Jalico. I love all their games, even though they have a lot of heart. I will say that, they have a lot of heart. And I'm going to attempt the quick kill on the boss. If I fail or die, then I'm just going to play it safe and 2-cycle him. Because it is a real hard. Okay, so this is also another thing that screws up new players too, is that you can't just jump straight up, because if you press up, you'll fall into the portal, but you need to press up in order to jump into the portal, so you have to come at it from the side. Alright, so this is cute Thulu. Ah, no, didn't get it. So it's really precise. I'm pretty sure it's pixel perfect, or at least 1 or 2 pixels. You have to get really close to his head. Really close to the top center of his head, because if you don't, if you hit him like from the right, from his backside onward, you get clipped against the wall and you die. You can't like cheese him or anything like that. But it's also really difficult to 1-cycle him. I'm still trying to find a reliable way of doing that. And our next challenge. Watch for Vegibots in the corners. I don't know what that means. Okay, now we move on to Strange Uneven Planet. Seeing this face here, it should be noted in the original, it's a very happy, like Lego style face. So for the US version, they gave it a snarky DreamWorks face, as you know, as they do to Kirby.
Hey, can I have time for some more donations?
Go for it.
All right, there's $10 from Feltem Preparatio,
Oh.
who says, "You always impress me with how well you can play despite being a Pokemon with no hands." Also, $20 donation from Dead Taxes N64 says, "Let's go Whoop. Best luck to both Whoops, running and commentary."
Oh, thank you, Fel and Death Taxes. Yeah, they're good regulars in that stream. Thanks for showing up and watching. Okay, so this is the room that made me realize I wanted to run this game because I kind of figured, oh, I'm doing it, I could have done this a little better, but you have all these tight corners here, and you're kind of going so fast that if you want to do this like smoothly to where you avoid a lot of those corners, then like you have to, it's very, very precise. I've kind of worked on strats on making this like good, like easy to complete even if you can't do the cool stuff. You can attempt the cool stuff, but if you don't do the cool stuff, it's alright. Okay, whoop. Alright, let's do some falling. Thankfully, one of the bosses of this game you're allowed to cheese. But the bosses aren't too difficult. We only get to see a little bit of the freak out. The sprite just goes all over the place. Chills await you in the frozen vegetable land. Yeah, this is where we start reaching the top part of the Oreo. Alright, frozen vegetable section, here we go. If I had one-cycled the Cthulhu boss, then I probably would have attempted the ghost skip. It doesn't save any different time, it's just pure swag. But that little ghost down there, if you fall through the second platform at the right speed and angle, you can bounce off the ghost and continue the stage, which is, it doesn't save any time whatsoever, but it's super cool. It's also really hard to practice and get done right. As you probably guessed, like whenever you're launching yourself at 400 miles an hour, it's kind of hard to precision anything. Oh, and while we're here, I normally wouldn't get this, but there's an enemy that you only see up here. Yep, so you only see this enemy up here. And that's it. It's weird.
Worked it.
Worth it. I remember I was trying really, really hard to get sub 20 in this game when I was like, right now I have like 1836, but I was trying really hard to get sub 20, and I got it like instantly like the next time I picked up the game, and I realized it was because I died in this auto-scroller previously, and that just ate up so much time that all I had to do was just not die in this to make my goal. I am trying to get it to sub 18, which is, it's going to be a challenge. But this game I have in its own separate category because it's longer because you can't skip the cutscenes, and there's the fact that the gameplay is a little faster, so it doesn't have the same heft to it, which is fine. But and also nobody plays with the Kori or Sakura, the girl character, because she has the Luigi factor. Like she can jump higher, but she doesn't charge as fast as Jajamaru, so she's not really good for speedruns. But she's really good for newer players, though. There's a couple of areas and gaps and jumps and stuff where like she has an easier time getting through it that are kind of a pain first time. Oh. Whoa. Hang on. That's weird. My B button's stuck or something. Let go before I... Ah, God, I'm sorry about this. Because that was right it. I should have... Curses. Marathon luck, I guess.
This never happened before.
Yeah. Oh, this has happened plenty of times, just not on Marathon City.
Chat is cheering for you.
Thank you, chat. Yeah, thanks to all my buddies that have showed up to watch me just eat pavement. Because after this is also one of my favorite areas of the game. Like, this and the stage 5 and 6 are probably my favorites just because you can use cool, you can do some wet stunts.
I think another of your friends made a donation. You had $20 from Lenalia. Says whoop whoop.
Thank you, Lenalia. Yes, very much so. Super cool all you guys came around. Right. Okay, so... Okay, nothing wrong with the A button. Whoop. Okay, phew. There we go. Yeah, this area, I really think this is a fun stage, but everyone hates it. See, oh, we're gonna do swag path. Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, something is weird with that B button. I should clean these out beforehand. In this case, I'm gonna take top path now, specifically because I need to be a little safer. Because normally if you go through there and you jump on the last block, you can just smoothly fly into the door. These elevator cutscenes are also new that they added. These enemies are white and red instead of blue. Like there's a bunch of tiny touch-ups. Like I would say that that's kind of the mark of Jalico localizations is that they change one or two things and then just put it in English and that's kind of it. See, this is the part that hurts everyone because they need to launch themselves up there. So this is an awesome boss, which really sucks because you can't actually fight him. That's it, we're done. Beat the boss. So he's Vegatron's helper. He looks so cool though, I want to fight him. And now I realize that Vegatron is a bad seed. Brave warrior from Earth. Can you beat him?
Oh wow.
And he goes back to his home planet. You have an important job. This is one part that actually annoys me as far as the puns go. Oh, the 4 basic food groups hope you will defeat Vegatron. This is the part, let's see, and preserve us all. So yeah, this is the part that annoys me. Vegatron is a tough guy. Like, you couldn't just say tough Rye. Like, you couldn't just throw in another one there while you're just, you know, dealing him out. Okay, for safety's sake, I'm actually gonna take a death here, just because we can... Because 7-2 is an incredibly stressful area. Yeah, I didn't expect to die during the auto-scroller. That is sad. So yeah, these parts are a little bit rough to figure out, because you have to, you know, figure out how to land on a specific spot of there, so you can't just pop on top. Okay, here is Hell Zone. Okay, so we move to the left here because it actually despawns an enemy that's sitting on this slope here. Whoa! Yeah, I think something's wonky with my controller. I'm not saying like, oh, you know, I'm trying to sound like, oh, well, it's not me, but like, there's some inputs that normally should function a little better when I hold them down. All right. Okay, yeah, there is something. Okay, that's gonna make this really hard. I do apologize for that. Okay, let's see. Okay. Because what it should be doing is that whenever I fall down here, I'm just hold B. Okay, I'm just gonna have to play it safe. Which sucks because it's a really cool swag moment. So I don't know why that's failing. What happens is you fall down the platform and you just kind of just make 3 very large jumps that take you across the stage. Oh, hang on. There we go. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Wow. This is, I am super, holy crap, 24 minutes. I am super sorry about this.
Don't worry, keep going.
Yeah, that was just a couple of like really weird input.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Yeah, luckily this area is short. So yeah, 7-2, as you probably have guessed, is the big gatekeeper for me, I think, anyways. So I'm just gonna go through it slow this time. Because I know that's not super fast, but if something's wonky with this this controller, then I'm definitely not gonna have to. There's no way that I'm gonna be able to do incredibly precise swag strats. Okay. Okay, let go. Pull back so we can jump with that. Okay, we're just taking the bottom route. Yeah, which means this is an area that actually, like, jumping over that normally, it took a while to figure out a pattern that you can do that with. Okay. So as you can see, it's super easy to do when you do it nice, but just like, you know, doing it fast is much more fun and looks cool. Okay, so we're in the last stage before the final boss. In this formula, you can just kind of fly through here. I mean, like any other area. There's actually enemies that like will kill you if you try to jump on their heads, but won't kill you if you're in ball form. So it's just safer to be in ball form. Like if you watch a TAS, it's just like it's jumping all around the place without having to go in a ball at all, and that's ridiculous. I tried doing that, but the spikes don't hurt us, but we can jump on them in order to keep our momentum going. Okay, so this is Vegetron. I mean, it's Frieza, basically.
Slide in a quick donation before you start the boss.
Oh.
We have a $5 donation from Zilas who says, "You're doing great. We believe in you."
All right, so 1, 2, time's coming up, 3, 4, and time. 27. Grr. Yeah, normally this is about 24. At least when I was practicing, I was getting about like high 23s and 24s. Okay, so we've defeated Frieza here, and he underestimated the power of Earth's people. This is where it gets kind of weird. We've earned his respect, and I've driven the evil from his heart, which ultimately comes with, what have I done?
Well,
I have committed horrible atrocities against the inhabitants of all the planets. Oops. He will repent. And from now on, I'll work with you to promote peace through the universe. So it comes along with us, and okay, well, so this is... Are you leaving us so soon? Let us say goodbye. Then we're all artichoked up. I don't know why it repeats this line twice. Thank you, Vegetable Crusader. Thanks to your broccoli, we are ones again at peas. Soy to see you go.
This is really good.
We hope you turn up again soon. And so that's it. It goes credits into an ending screen. So yeah, that's squashed. I would probably say that like if anyone's playing, if you play the original Famicom one that was released, it's going to be a lot easier of a time than this. But someone actually did do a translation of it. I think they translated Ninja Jajamaru Space Battle. If you use retro achievements or other stuff like that, it's listed in that. So yeah, I'm WoopVonWoop, and that was a ninja spinning into a ball very fast.
Well, thank you, VonWoop. It was a great run. I enjoyed it. And next up, we'll have Starwind playing Oddworld Adventures on the GBA. Oh no, just Game Boy actually. So we'll do a quick transition, and then we're gonna be on Oddworlds. Stay tuned.